Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur Podcast. I am Dr. Ben Spears, the ambassador of flow. I'm here with the big guy as usual and as always, Matt Vi. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Ambassador of flow, man.
Yeah, man, I got the ambassador of Flonase. So I apologize to everybody listening. You know, I've gotten some kind of allergies this morning that have taken away my voice almost and just made me sneeze like crazy. So Matt, we got another great podcast.
We do.
Ready for everyone out there in podcast land to absorb, because I know your all's recruiting brains are like sponges.
Yep.
And just, and they're not full.
Nope.
They're not full. Don't tell yourself that.
That's right. Yeah, and all of this just helps so much with overall productivity and with recruiting and with everything. We appreciate everybody tuning in and downloading the episodes and everything. It's we love to share, and so we love to see that people are absorbing the content and it's helping them out. And of course we hear that too, right? So that's what we like. So there's some comments out there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're listening to this, it's January 12th. 2022 when we're recording this, and we're right there. By the end of January, kind of definitely end of February, we'll surpass our 10,000 download goal that we had. And so we're just so grateful for everyone who's listening, and if there's anything that we can do for you guys, or any topic or comment that you have on how we can make the podcast better, man, we would just absolutely love to hear that. So feel free to reach out to us on social media or in any form or fashion that you'd like, and let us know. We'll make sure that we keep our ears open and make it better.
That's right. Anything we can do to improve.
Yep, that's exactly right. So, guys, we have a great podcast today.
Yep. I
had one title written up there.
Nope.
Matt's like, no, I feel like this one's going to be better. And you know what? As usual, he's right. Right? He's just always right.
All right, so timestamp this. When is this? Timestamp this. I need this timestamp.
Yeah, exactly. He's always right because he's bigger and stronger. Like 9 black belts. But we're going to talk about how to help recruits understand the market, right? And that's not just today's market,
right?
Because everybody's pretty well versed on like what's going on right now, right? If they're a recruit, an agent, a broker, even your staff.
Yep.
We're talking about today's market and where we're going, right?
Absolutely, because everybody knows today's market, but today's market's old news.
Yeah.
You're always playing catch up when you're focusing on today's market.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So you can't be looking at today's market and go, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing. I know what's going on today.
Yeah.
You're too late.
Yeah, you're too late.
Because there's factors that have impacted that make it that way.
Yeah.
And now you can't be too far ahead, right? Okay, so but you have to make sure that you're paying close attention to what's happening and explaining it to your recruits. They need to see you as that person in the market.
Yeah, don't sell the building yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't start putting your building up for sale, guys. We're not talking about planning for 10 years ahead.
Right.
But before we get into all of this, guys, wherever you're listening to this, hit that follow or that subscribe button. We would so greatly appreciate that. That helps the algorithm know that we're doing a good job, and I guess lets us know that we're doing a good job as well. But on top of that, there's no better time than the present than to go to Brokerpreneur Podcast. If you're there listening, hey, what's up? We're super glad that you're listening on the website. brokerpreneurpodcast.com. Sign up for our weekly newsletter. We put our heart and soul into that thing, making sure that we give you great information, keep you up to date on not only our podcast but the blog, and then also giving you cool videos and articles that you can share with recruits, as well as your current agents, to help build quality relationships by leading with value, as we always say.
Yep.
So, Matt, before you can be clear on, or before we can even start talking about, where the market is going, helping your recruits understand it, you have to actually be clear that the market is even shifting.
Absolutely. The real estate market is never stagnant, right? It's always moving. There's always something dynamic happening, right? So you have to, part of your conversation with recruits, okay, of course your current agent population as well, but with recruits, is to make sure carefully but consistently that they know that the market is always changing. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about, how you put it across in just a second, right? When we talk a little bit about how you train people on it, but they have to understand that it's always shifting. It's always okay. So any agent that is really productive, that has a very strong career for a long time, is one that when the market shifted and changed, they didn't just catch up and shift later, right? They saw things happening and they made that shift. Okay, let me give you a great example. So, probably 03, 04, something like that, somewhere in there. What were you, about
19
6?
or 2000?
In that market, there was a guy that I knew that did foreclosures.
Okay.
And so every now and again, I'd call him and say, hey, I got somebody because I sold some real estate back then. So I'd call and I'd say, hey, so what's going on with the foreclosures, and tell me about this property and all that kind of stuff. And he was always doing BPOs, and he was always running around, just kind of whatever, right? And he always had, a few of them happening and all that kind of stuff. Well, by 2007, he was top of the market.
Oh, I'm sure.
Up until that point, he was not top of the market, right? He was not somebody that everybody just kind of knew him in that role. Yeah. And he sold some other properties here and there when people flipped them into some investors and all that kind of stuff. And he was doing 20 transactions a year, 25 transactions a year. He was up to 120 or 130,
least, I'm sure.
in a 2-year period. And then I'm sure it peaked beyond that, right? Yeah. Because he just had those relationship with the asset managers and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Well, as that started to slow back down, what did he do? He rode that same wave. He went back to the same exact thing, right? He was doing 20, 30 transactions a year, right? So if the market is constantly shifting, and the market is constantly shifting, and you don't have to forecast it perfectly to know where things are going, right. But you do have to keep your eyes open and look at where the opportunities are. And if you've got your eyes open and you're looking at where the opportunities are, he could have kept doing the business he was doing. Yeah. Rode the foreclosures. And then at some point, everyone knows that those foreclosures are going to dry up, right? Yeah. Short sales are going to dry up, right?
Yeah, it can't be there forever.
That's exactly right. So at that point, he had the opportunity, with selling that many transactions, he had the opportunity to start farming to those people that he dealt with. Right. Yeah. And so he could have just rode that same exact way. Right. So if you want to help someone understand the business, and if you want to help them be very productive for a long period of time and stay with you because that is what you're contributing to them, then you have to help them understand that the market's always changing. Yeah. Don't buy into 100% of everything that is going on in the market right now and think it's going to be that way forever, because it's just not. Yeah. It's going to change. Carefully talk to them about it. You're not trying to scare them, right? You don't sit down with a recruit and say, I know you do a lot of relocation business and a lot of referral business, but all that shit's going to dry up. You better do something different, right? That's right. That's not what you're going to say. Right?
And there's a meteorite.
That's right. That's not what you're going to say. What you're going to say instead is, I help my agents understand where some of the other trends are in the market, and I'd love for you to continue making money and where you're making money. But as other trends come up that you might be able to capitalize on, is that something that you'd like a little bit of help on understanding that better? Yeah. Right? That's a whole different conversation. You're nicely and carefully saying the market's going to change. Where are you going to be at with it?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Don't go Big Bang Theory on them. So, I kind of joked about this, in the intro, and I was like, don't go selling your building, that kind of thing. Right. But yeah, you're clear on the shift that's going on. No one knows, like, this is going to happen on April 3rd.
That's right.
Right. 2023, whatever. You can't go betting the farm on the actual pace. Right. That the shift is going to occur. Right. You want to seem intelligent. You want to see. It's nice to be like, not saying like I told you so, but it's nice to being the person that forecasted it early, because then everyone knows, like you, if there's anything I need to know about the real estate market, like, you're the only person I ever call, and I'm like, Matt, what's going to happen? And it always happens. Right. We never know the exact time, but it comes and it happens. Right. And agents like being around that information. Right. Because guess what? Guess why I call you?
What's that?
Because I don't want to research it, figure it out.
That's right.
Right?
Completely agree.
Agents don't want to do that. They want to be able to go to you and say, look, this is what I'm seeing. What's going on? We're going to talk about, seeing what they're saying as well.
Right.
But yeah, don't bet the farm on the pace of that shit.
No, absolutely. You just have to take a close look at what's happening and give them an idea of a direction that maybe that's going. Right.
Yes.
So and here's why. This is probably the best way to explain it.
All right.
You got all your stuff packed up in the car. You got the top off the Jeep, and you're getting ready to go to the beach because the meteorologist said it's going to be sunshiny today.
Oh, they're never wrong.
And then you get out in the car, and it pours on you, right? So you're soaked to the bone. Who are you pissed at?
Right.
The meteorologist.
Right. You got that right.
Okay. Well, they're not the ones that made the rain.
Yeah.
All they did was took all the information they had and they put it out there, right? So the promise and the pace of things is what you have to be careful about.
Yeah.
The fact that the market is going to shift, go ahead and bet on that.
Yeah.
You can tell everybody right now going forward, hey, the market's going to shift. Let's keep an eye on it. Here's some of the factors that are going to make a difference, right? Okay. The pace that it's going to shift at, right? Because we talk about the pendulum, okay? The pendulum swinging back and forth. The pace is the thing that there are a lot of factors that make a difference, and that's the part we have to be very careful about. So that's the part that you talk to people about. You talk to people about factors that are going to make a difference and how quickly the market shifts. Yeah. Right? They like putting their head down, paying attention to their clients, paying attention to their customers, and getting work done and making commission checks. That's what they want. When they pick their head up, if you're sitting there and going, hey, listen, the shifting that we were talking about, some of it's happening because here's some of the key indicators. Yeah. It looks like it's going this way. Maybe talk to some of your sellers and buyers about this so that they know what's going on. Then they can put their head back down and they can go back to doing what they're doing. Yeah. When you do that with recruits, most of the time they're not getting that information from somewhere else that is extremely reliable. Yeah. Okay. Not that it's not out there. The information's easy to get. Absolutely. Right? National Association of Realtors puts out some very quality information, right? Yep. Tom Ferry puts out some really quality information. You can go to a lot of different people that do Swan Sparrow Report, like we've talked about before, right? And Real Trends. There's a lot of people out there that's what they're doing. They're crunching that data. Yeah,
Dotloop throws a bunch of articles out there.
Dotloop is fantastic about it. So they're all a bunch of different places that you can get this information and aggregate it and be able to disseminate that information to them. Yeah. Just don't promise the pace. Yeah. You can promise the change. Don't promise the pace.
Yeah. No, I like it. Hey guys, this podcast is powered by Prospect Boomerang.
We all know broker owners struggle with profitability. Prospect Boomerang compounds your profits by recruiting the best agents to your brokerage.
For consistent growth, visit prospectboomerang.com. A really good way, and I'd mentioned this just a second ago, but a really good way, if you're not that person who's like, gosh, I just want to sit there and look at the graphs and the charts all the time, which that's the part I like, is ask if you have a population of agents, or even if you don't, right? You're in contact with a bunch of agents probably while you're out there, if you're still selling, that kind of thing. Ask everyone that you meet, your lenders, your home inspectors, right? Mm-hmm. Ask everyone. How's your business doing? What are you seeing in the market?
Absolutely.
Right. You're gonna see a consensus come across unless your home inspector's like 98 and he's like just telling off. He's like, I'm not doing any business anymore. Right. That doesn't mean the market's crashing.
Right. That's right.
Right. He's retiring. Right. But yeah, ask the agents, ask your recruits, ask everybody in your ecosystem. That's a good way of finding out, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And so think about it like this. Let's say that I've talked to you once or twice. We've done a co-op transaction, and I give you a call, and I go, "Hey Ben, this is Matt with Matt Vi Realty. I just wanted to reach out. I know you're real busy. Didn't want to bother you with anything, but I keep up with what's going on with the market and some of the shifts and everything. And I talked to a bunch of people and everything. One, I wanted to get your opinion of what you're seeing. Are you busy? And then two, if you got like 2 seconds longer, what I'd like to do is just kind of tell you what I'm hearing from some of the other people that I'm connected with. Yeah. Right. Now, Ben being an agent wherever he's an agent at, okay, so he can say, "No, Matt, I'm busy. Why are you calling?" Right. Right. That's not what's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
Not with an agent you want in your office.
Yeah, yeah. If they don't care, then that's
moving on, right?
Moving on.
Yeah. So, but you're going to talk to them, and you're basically saying, "Hey, look, I'd like to hear your opinion to compare it with the other things, right?" And so that allows you to get their input, but it also allows you to bring the one that's bringing a certain amount of value to them, so that everyone is comfortable sharing their conversations together. Yeah. How is that agent going to look at you? right? That doesn't mean they're going to go, oh my gosh, that person's perfect and I'm going to go work with them, right? That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Right. Most likely. That's absolutely, completely agree. But what is going to happen is they're going to...
I just went after one call, Matt.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. So
you do that enough, it can.
Absolutely. And so now what you're doing is you're saying, I keep ahead of this. I train on this. I help on this. What else are you saying? I'm connected with people. I'm paying attention to what's going on with the market. I'm bringing value to you with no strings attached, and I'd love your opinion. All of those things are just good things.
Yeah, I'm a leader in the industry.
That's right. And so relationship-based agents, you know what they want to hear? That.
Yeah.
They want to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. They want to be. They don't want to be on an island.
Right. Completely agree.
Yeah, they want to be out. They want to be with the people who are like them.
Right.
So you mentioned some training there, and that's the last thing that we're gonna talk about here. And there's so many people who offer training based on specific scenarios or situations, right? You can't just have a training that like this training works when inventory's low and the market is absolutely beautiful and houses sell within 24 hours. There's your training, right? You need to have like an evergreen training on market shifting and truly just understanding the market in general, right?
100%. Yeah, you have to have topics that are always going to be valuable to agents. Now, you also need some right now stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
The right now stuff is typically better. Those are great Cracker Barrels, right? Those are great round tables, masterminds, things like that. That's a very good way of doing that. Have an expert come in and talk about those, right? In Florida, there's letter of mapping adjustments, LOMA letters, right?
Yeah.
And so what that means is that your flood insurance can be different if you get a map adjustment on your survey for your property, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
working on that right now, honestly.
Okay. Yep. There you go. So that is a big deal. That's an evergreen training if you're in Florida. Right. So you want training that's always going to be valuable. Listings are always valuable. Sphere of influence is always valuable. Marketing is always valuable, right? I'm not going to mention that that's why we do the events and challenges that we do is because they are evergreen. Okay. We'll leave it at that. But those are the things that we know people want to hear. We know that they want to see. We know that they want to understand always. Okay. There's a time to do short sale training. There's a time to do REO and foreclosure training. Right now is not it. Yeah. Right. And so if you're going out to your recruits and going, hey, look, I'm giving some training on short sales and foreclosures right now. Not only are you probably not going to have really good attendance, but they're going to look at you as out of date. Yeah. They're going to look at you as like
VCR.
Right. Why is that? Okay. But now 6 months or a year from now might be a completely different, right? They're looking at you as the future of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But right now you look like a VCR, right?
Yep.
Because the market always does change and always shifts and it always moves.
Yes.
So you have to have training that is evergreen training. Evergreen training is around marketing, it's around skills, it's around mindset, and it's around listings, and it's around sphere of influence. Always.
Yeah.
If you stay focused on those things, that's always evergreen training. Okay. Technology training, you can really lean into it. What I would suggest with technology training for anyone is unless you just love it, don't frickin' do it. Yeah. Okay. Get whoever the expert is to come in, right? So if somebody comes in and they've got this new app, right, and they want to talk to everybody about the app, that's fantastic. That way, a year from now, when that app isn't relevant anymore, it wasn't you who leaned in and learned it and figured it out and all that kind of stuff. That is literally tied to the person who came in and did that training.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah. Angry Birds.
Right. That's exactly right. Same exact thing. So focus on the if you're going to do technology training, focus on the people that offer that technology to do the training.
Yeah.
That way, when it's out of the cycle, they're just not there anymore. It's not tied to you at that point.
Yep, absolutely. Well, guys, I'm going to summarize here and I'll put a little bow on it because that's what I do.
Right.
You want to help your recruits understand the market. The way that you're going to do that is be clear that the market is even shifting in the first place, which it always is.
Right.
Don't bet the farm on the pace of the shift, right? So, know that the shift is coming, but, don't start throwing out deadlines like it's the apocalypse or something like that.
Right.
Ask your agents, ask your ecosystem, ask your recruits what they see in the market, and use that as a way to build connection, build rapport, and show that you're a leader in the industry and in your marketplace. And then lastly, have some evergreen training that you've created that you can always invite people to, that help in all market types, and help agents understand the market, where they are, and how to generate business in it.
Yep.
Right. So wherever you're listening to this, before we get to the action item, hit that follow button if you're watching or listening to us rather on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer. Hit that red subscribe button. I'm throwing it reverse style. Hit that red subscribe button and that bell. If you are watching us on YouTube, hello. Guys, please go to Prospect Boomerang if your company is all about building recruiting and building relationships in a relationship way versus a numbers way, because we have so many wonderful things on the website that you can take advantage of. Excuse me, different programs that we have for all different types of brokerages, and different price points for everyone, so that we can make sure that we can be part of your win just wherever you are. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But Matt, throw us the action item, man.
Yeah. So this is, the action items usually always really on topic with what it is that we're talking about in that podcast. This one's a little bit different. Okay. It's the same but different. So call 5 of your recruits. Just call them and just say, hey, look, I'd love to talk about the market and everything. Give me a call back when you get a minute. Mm-hmm. Okay. This isn't 100%. But this is probably 80 or 90% of the time. How long it takes them to call you back is a complete testament of how interested they are in being part of your brokerage.
Yeah.
How much they trust your opinion, how much they want to hear it, okay, all of that. So it's a way of kind of testing where they are with how connected they are with you, okay? Yeah. The quicker they call back, the more likely they are to join sooner.
Yeah,
that makes sense. The longer it takes for them to call back, if they ever call back, then the less likely they are to join. Now, here's the caveat. That doesn't mean you stop calling.
Yeah.
Because you'll develop rapport. You'll develop somewhere along the line. You're going to bump into them. Maybe they're just super busy. They're not paying attention. They're not thinking about moving. And then all of a sudden something happens. They get sideways with their broker, and you just happen to be consistent and call at the same time, and maybe they just want to talk. Okay?
Yeah.
So you being connected with them consistently and you delivering value to them consistently is what's going to allow them to transition to your brokerage. But just kind of a test of where you are with your prospect tracker people, right? Your hot and your warm list.
Yeah.
Reach out to them and see how long it takes for them to call back.
Yeah. If you're an agent, call your broker and see how long it takes them to call you back.
Oh, amen, brother.
That's a good thing too. So all you brokerpreneurs, answer the calls of your agents.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you do
Call
that.
them back.
They're thinking the same. They're thinking the same thing as well. Matt, man, we always call everybody back if we're not picking up on the first ring.
Yep.
And we do that for the same reason we do this podcast. And tell them why that is, man.
Because we just want to be part of their win.